The Ottoman Empire, a powerful force in world history, spanned over 6 centuries, leaving a lasting impact on global politics, trade, and military strategies. One of the key factors contributing to the empire's success was its control over strategic trade routes and its ability to defend its vast and expanding territories. As the empire grew, the Ottomans recognized the need for a formidable navy to protect their interests, assert their dominance, and safeguard the empire's boundaries, particularly as they extended into the Mediterranean, North Africa, and beyond. In the 5th, 10th, and early 16th centuries, the Ottoman Empire began to solidify its position as a dominant regional power, expanding its reach across the Middle East, North Africa, and Eastern Europe. The Ottoman sultans understood that securing their empire's borders and maintaining control over vital trade routes could not be achieved through land-based forces alone. The increasing importance of maritime power, especially as European powers began to expand their influence across the seas, made it clear that the Ottomans needed a strong naval presence to protect their growing empire. As early as the 14th century, the Ottomans began building their navy, initially for the purpose of securing trade routes and ensuring the safe passage of merchants. However, by the early 16th century, the empire's naval ambitions had expanded far beyond mere defense and protection of trade. Under the reign of Sultan Suleiman I, who came to power in 1512, the Ottomans began to pay greater attention to their naval forces, recognizing that a powerful fleet was essential to maintaining their newly acquired territories as well as further expanding their influence. One of the key moments in the development of the Ottoman Navy came during the reign of Sultan Suleiman the Magnificent, who ruled from 1520 to 1566. Suleiman understood the importance of naval dominance and sought to build a navy capable of challenging the Mediterranean powers of the time, particularly the Venetian Republic, Spain, and Portugal. The Mediterranean was crucial for trade and military supremacy, and the Ottomans sought to control it to protect their empire's economic and strategic interests. Under Suleiman's leadership, the Ottoman Navy was expanded, and a series of military campaigns were launched to assert Ottoman dominance over the Mediterranean. One of the most notable naval commanders in this period was Admiral Hayreddin Barbarossa, a former pirate who became the chief admiral of the Ottoman Navy. Barbarossa, known for his naval expertise, led the Ottoman fleet to victory in several key battles, including the Battle of Preveza in 1538, which cemented Ottoman control over much of the Mediterranean. The Battle of Preveza was a turning point for the Ottoman Navy. Barbarossa's decisive victory over the combined forces of the Papal States, Venice, and Spain ensured Ottoman supremacy in the Mediterranean for several decades. This victory not only solidified the Ottoman Empire's hold over the Mediterranean, but also gave the Ottomans the ability to protect and secure their trade routes, vital for the empire's wealth and influence. Barbarossa's successes were a testament to the growing strength of the Ottoman Navy, but they were just one part of the larger Ottoman naval strategy. In addition to military conquests, the Ottomans also invested in the development of their fleet, acquiring advanced shipbuilding techniques and increasing the size and capacity of their vessels. The Ottomans began constructing a variety of ships, including large warships called galleons, which were capable of carrying heavy artillery. These ships allowed the Ottomans to dominate the seas and challenge other European powers that were competing for control of the Mediterranean. The Ottomans also recognized the importance of naval bases to support their growing fleet. In the mid-16th century, the Ottomans established several key naval bases along the Mediterranean coast, including in Algiers, Tripoli, and Alexandria. These bases served as hubs for Ottoman naval operations, allowing the fleet to operate effectively across the Mediterranean and North African coastlines. The strategic placement of these bases enabled the Ottomans to maintain a strong naval presence and respond quickly to any threats from rival European powers. The strengthening of the Ottoman Navy was not just about protecting the empire's interests in the Mediterranean. It was also about extending Ottoman influence across the seas and establishing dominance over key maritime trade routes. The Ottomans expanded their reach into North Africa, where they took control of key ports and coastal cities, including Tunis and Algiers. These territories provided vital access to the Mediterranean and allowed the Ottomans to control the flow of goods and trade between Europe, Africa, and Asia. The Ottoman Navy played a crucial role in securing these territories. For example, the Ottomans fought several naval battles against the Spanish and Portuguese, who were also vying for control of key ports along the North African coast. The success of the Ottoman Navy in these battles ensured that the Ottomans maintained their hold over these territories and their control over the crucial trade routes that passed through them. The Navy also provided the Ottomans with the ability to project power beyond their immediate borders. In the 16th and 17th centuries, the Ottoman Navy launched expeditions to the Red Sea, the Arabian Gulf, and even as far as India and East Africa. The Ottomans used their naval power to protect their interests in the Indian Ocean and the Persian Gulf, both of which were vital for trade with Asia. They also used their navy to defend the pilgrimage routes to Mecca, ensuring that Muslim pilgrims could travel safely to the holy cities of Islam. As the Ottoman Empire expanded, its naval strength became an essential component of the empire's overall military strategy. The Navy played a central role in maintaining Ottoman influence over vast territories, securing trade routes, and protecting the empire from external threats. The Ottoman fleet was not only a military force but also an economic asset that enabled the empire to maintain its position as one of the most powerful and prosperous empires in the world. In conclusion, the strengthening of the Ottoman Navy was a crucial aspect of the empire's success. The Ottomans recognized early on that naval power was essential to securing their expanding territories and protecting their economic interests. Under the leadership of rulers like Suleiman I and Suleiman the Magnificent, the Ottoman Navy became a formidable force, enabling the empire to assert its dominance over the Mediterranean and beyond. The Navy's strength allowed the Ottomans to maintain control over vital trade routes, secure their territories, and extend their influence across the seas. This naval power played a key role in shaping the course of Ottoman history and the development of the broader Mediterranean world. The Ottoman Empire's strengthening of its navy during the 16th and 17th centuries not only played a vital role in securing its territorial boundaries, but also enabled the empire to project its influence across vast regions, ensuring control over crucial maritime routes. By bolstering their naval power, the Ottomans solidified their position as a dominant maritime power in the Mediterranean and beyond, shaping the geopolitical landscape of the time. The empire's naval ambitions were not limited to defending their territories, but were aimed at extending their reach into new territories, challenging European naval supremacy and protecting vital trade routes that formed the backbone of the empire's wealth and prosperity. By the mid-16th century, the Ottoman Empire had firmly established its control over the Mediterranean, particularly through the leadership of Admiral Hayreddin Barbarossa. However, the empire's naval strategy expanded beyond individual military victories. The Ottomans understood that a strong navy required an extensive and well-supported infrastructure, including shipbuilding, naval bases, and logistics. As their naval power grew, so did their need for improved infrastructure to maintain the fleet's operational capacity and safeguard their dominance over the seas. The expansion of the Ottoman Navy in the 16th century was also driven by the competition with European maritime powers, such as Spain, Venice, and later France and Britain. These European nations were vying for control over the hassle over the Mediterranean trade routes and sought to establish their dominance in the region. For the Ottomans, This competition presented both a challenge and an opportunity to assert their power. The growing naval rivalry with Spain and the Papal States, who sought to undermine Ottoman authority, led to a series of significant naval battles, most notably the Battle of Lepanto in 1571. The Battle of Lepanto, fought between the Ottoman Fleet and the Holy League and Alliance of Spain, Venice, and the Papal States, was one of the most important naval confrontations of the 16th century. The Ottomans were defeated in this battle, marking a significant setback in their naval dominance in the Mediterranean. Despite this loss, the Ottomans did not abandon their naval ambitions. Instead, they swiftly rebuilt their fleet and continued to maintain a strong presence in the Mediterranean. The defeat at Lepanto did not deter the Ottomans from continuing their naval expansion and from securing their positions in North Africa, the Red Sea, and beyond. The Ottomans' post-Lepanto strategy involved a combination of naval rebuilding, strategic alliances, and ongoing naval campaigns. They focused on maintaining control over the key ports in the Mediterranean, especially those in North Africa. The coastal cities of Algiers, Tunis, and Tripoli, which had been integral to the Ottoman naval presence, continued to serve as important bases for Ottoman operations in the Mediterranean and beyond. These cities were critical hubs for Ottoman piracy and the protection of trade routes, particularly in the aftermath of the Battle of Lepanto. The empire's relationship with North African corsairs, particularly those in the Barbary coast, played a key role in Ottoman naval strategy. The Barbary pirates, who were often supported by the Ottoman Navy, conducted raids against European vessels and coastal towns, further cementing Ottoman naval control in the Mediterranean. These corsairs provided the Ottomans with an irregular but effective means of exerting naval power, disrupting European trade, and asserting the empire's influence in the region. The Ottoman Navy also became increasingly involved in securing maritime trade routes to the east. The Ottomans recognized that their wealth and power depended on their control of key trade passages connecting Europe to Asia. The Indian Ocean, with its access to the spice trade, was vital for both Ottoman and European economies. In the 16th and 17th centuries, the Ottomans sought to establish naval superiority in the Red Sea and the Persian Gulf. The Ottoman fleet was tasked with ensuring the safe passage of ships to and from the Indian subcontinent, as well as protecting the pilgrimage routes to Mecca. In the Persian Gulf, the Ottomans found themselves engaged in conflict with the Portuguese, who had established a strong naval presence in the region. The Ottomans responded by launching military campaigns to recapture strategic ports and waterways, including the city of Hormuz, a key trading post in the Gulf. The Ottoman Navy, supported by local Arab forces, gradually pushed the Portuguese out of key positions, restoring Ottoman control over the region's maritime routes. Despite these successes, the Ottoman Empire faced increasing pressure from European powers, particularly the rise of the British and Dutch navies. By the late 17th century, the Ottomans were confronted with new challenges as the balance of power in the Mediterranean began to shift. The emergence of the British Royal Navy as a dominant force in the Mediterranean, combined with the growing influence of France and Spain, threatened Ottoman control over their maritime territories. The competition for naval supremacy intensified, and the Ottomans found themselves increasingly outmatched by the modernized European fleets. In response to these challenges, the Ottomans sought to adapt their naval strategies, investing in new technologies and techniques to maintain their influence. They began to incorporate more modern ship designs, including larger warships with advanced weaponry such as cannons, which were increasingly effective in naval combat. However, despite these efforts, the empire's naval power began to decline in the late 17th and 18th centuries as European powers developed more advanced naval strategies and technologies. The weakening of Ottoman naval power was mirrored by a broader decline in the empire's political and economic stability. The loss of key territories, such as Hungary and Egypt, and the internal political and military struggles faced by the empire contributed to the eventual erosion of Ottoman control over its maritime empire. By the early 19th century, the Ottoman Navy was no longer the dominant force it had once been. European naval powers, particularly Britain, had established undisputed control over the Mediterranean and other strategic maritime routes. Despite the decline in naval power, the legacy of the Ottoman Navy remains a significant part of the empire's history. The Ottomans' mastery of the Mediterranean and their naval campaigns in the Red Sea and Indian Ocean laid the foundation for the empire's dominance for centuries. The Navy played a crucial role in the empire's military, economic, and political success, allowing the Ottomans to extend their influence across vast territories and challenge European powers. In conclusion, the strengthening of the Ottoman Navy was instrumental in securing the empire's territories, protecting its trade routes, and asserting its dominance in the Mediterranean and beyond. The Navy played a critical role in the expansion and defense of the Ottoman Empire, from the rise of Suleiman the Magnificent to the challenges faced in the 17th and 18th centuries. While the Ottoman Navy eventually faced decline in the face of modern European powers, its legacy as a formidable naval force remains a testament to the empire's strategic vision and military prowess. The Ottoman Navy not only shaped the course of Ottoman history but also played a significant role in the geopolitics of the Mediterranean and the wider world.